Hey, friends.
Hey, friends.
Welcome to Leave Me Alone. I'm working on it. I'm Cassie J.
And I'm Aurea Jolie. Is it okay if I take a nap while Cassandra just drives the episode? Just like a
I
quick,
mean,
like a
I'm gonna
quick
ask you
10
a
minute
couple of
power nap.
questions. So, you can, I don't know if you can answer
You
them in
know
your
how on
sleep. Like, that's
Facebook
fine.
back in the day you could poke someone?
I
Just poke me
do.
when it's time for me to answer the question.
Do you remember on Facebook you used to be able to throw sheep at people?
No.
You would
Throw
get it.
sheep.
Literally, it was like so and so is throwing a sheep at you. You could definitely poke someone. Poke.
Yeah, I know the
It's so
poking.
weird. It's
Throwing sheep.
I
Why are
actually
we
think
throwing poor animals?
the poking should come back. I actually really like that as a concept. Like it's just like talk to me. Poke.
Dummy and I have this app that I downloaded. I saw it was advertised on one of my games. I play a lot of games on my phone. It's ridiculous. For a grown person, it's ridiculous. Um, but am I grown though? That's
Are
still the
we?
jury's still out.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we
Yeah,
grown?
I agree.
Um,
Agreed.
and the game is called it's not a game. It's an app for couples and it's called Paired. And
I
it's
think
like
I've
a
seen this.
yeah, it's pretty
Or
good. It
maybe
asks
you've
you
told me about this. Yeah.
it's possible. You answer like questions and you do quizzes and you do games. It's actually pretty cool. But one of the
Yeah.
things it has on it is when you've answered like a quiz or you played your own part of the game and your partner hasn't come on, it'll be like, nudge Damilola. So it's got like the little finger, like the Facebook one, goes, nudge him. So
Poke.
you can just send a little poke and be like, yo, answer the quiz.
I
I
think
just
they should
remembered
bring that
that because
back.
I mean, I really don't care what happens on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. I am
No,
quota to delete
I'm
my
saying
Facebook
like
page profile.
Meta should bring it back. So like even if it's on Instagram, just be like, talk to me.
No,
Poke.
ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Nobody should poke me on Instagram. Don't do it. Mm-mm, mm-mm. There's already stories on Instagram. There's DMs on. Nah, don't add poking to it. Although, who actually even knows what direction Meta is taking Instagram? Because
That's true. Yeah, I feel like something is weird there. But anyway, yeah. I don't
does
know what's
my
happening.
voice sound deeper? Because apparently, it is a pregnancy symptom.
I'm like, now
And
no, it isn't noticeably deeper to me.
it's not like I'm supposed to arrive and sound like Barry White, but it's just it's supposed to be, a little bit deeper. And I feel like I can hear it, but I don't know. Because I'm also the same Han who has deceived herself her whole life. Like, my voice is not high pitched. My voice is not that light. Meanwhile, it probably is. I don't know. You can't hear it, right? Because I'm talking to
I
you
haven't
now and
noticed
I'm
anything.
feeling the
Like you're feeling
baritone
like the
coming.
baritone of your voice
Yeah.
coming through. No, I have not heard anything. I've
Okay,
not noticed
good.
anything.
I don't.
So
It's almost as if there's nothing that doesn't change, like that's not caused by pregnancy. This voice
working.
one, this dry eyes is also another one. And for someone who's wearing a full face of makeup, that's not a great plan. But we're
It's
here
crazy when you're
now.
like putting the powder in your eye on your face and then you get powder in your eyes and you're just like and all you want to do is like rub your eyes, but you can't because there's too much that's going on. The makeup journey is a lot.
You know the
The
one
makeup
that's the
journey is a
worst
lot.
is oh god, and that hasn't happened to me in so long. But I got my face done by someone, and the lash glue entered my eye. That
Burn.
hasn't happened to me in such a long time.
Burning.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't even know what she was using because I'm like, this is anyway. That one's rough.
So today I want to talk about those like the weight of like those unfinished stories in our lives. Okay.
The weight of unfinished stories.
Like the loves that were almost, like the almost of our
I don't
lives.
have any almost
The
loves.
the the job opportunities that were almost.
Got a lot of
The
those.
the doors that were opened and we got a little bit of a peek through what was on the other side, but we didn't fully engage. And then we
So
spent
All of
time,
life's almosts is what you wanna talk about.
life's and I want to talk about the chaos of almosts,
Oh,
because
yo.
almost are chaotic because they're like beautiful but like messy in betweens that kind of like haunt us, and they make us go, what if, like, who would I be if I had walked through this door? Who would I be? How would I live? What would my life look like if I had taken that job opportunity? Do you
That's
know
a
what I mean? Like
dangerous game to be playing. Yo, that's a dangerous game to be playing. What
um
if is a day like, it's
what
a
if
dangerous game.
the other game that's a dangerous game is the game of potential, right? The potential that I see in him,
Oh, yo, yo.
if we could just go, the potential I could see if I, took this job opportunity, of what it would do for my life. Like
Sure.
potential. And the thing that makes potential dangerous, okay? Because yeah, let me finish this thought. The thing that makes potential dangerous is that potential is so delightfully magical, right? Because you play out the scenario in your mind and it's beautiful and it's amazing and you see all the
Oh
colors and
gosh.
it's so good and it's so fulfilling and it's so wonderful and it's so self-affirming. It's amazing. You never play out in your mind the messiness. You never play out in your mind the things that are
Ah,
going to be hard.
you do. I play
Mm,
both scenarios. I play
okay,
both.
you're doing it healthy then,
I play
okay?
both.
You're doing it
It
healthy.
depends on the day. If it's like a doomsday type of feeling for me, I play all of the wrong scenarios. But if it's like one of those when I'm like, imagine I just win $10 million now. What would I do?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh,
Yes.
$10 million. I'd buy a
Yes.
house that's like 1 million. And then I'd buy a house in Nigeria. And then I'd buy another one where my in-laws would live. Then I'd buy my sister a house in the UK, but like a big enough house that when I visit with my kids, we can all stay there. And then I'd buy my husband a new car. And then I'd buy myself a new car. And then what are we investing in? Are we going into real estate? Are we gonna like the number of times I have what if I won $10 million? The number
I
of
think
times.
I think for me there's a difference though between like daydreaming about a scenario, but like tasting the potential today and then sitting and ruminating on that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
of course.
it's like I told you this story yesterday, um, and it's a silly example, but like I flew from Joburg to Atlanta, and like the guy who stamped my passport when I was coming into the US, he just was like, I don't know, it was like a cosmic connection, right? There was the eye contact, there was the flirty banter, there was the hands grazing as he passed me my passport back. And oh, like it was a lot. But we didn't exchange contact information. We didn't do anything. But I think about him all the time. I'm thinking about him now and I'm getting a little sweaty. Like,
Guys, this is 5 years ago, by the way.
no,
This thing she's talking about
it
is from
was
5 years
so long
ago.
ago. It was so long ago. But like I think about that because I think like what would have happened if we had exchanged contact information? What would have happened if we'd stayed in touch? What would have been? Do you know what I mean? And so, and I find this like chaotic. Now this is a silly example, right? We could laugh about it and it's fun. But there's other more things like, people like relationships that have ended where I'm like, well, what if we had, done things differently or looked at things differently? Would that relationship still exist today?
Mm,
And then you can spend so much time kind of sitting in this place and playing out a scenario in your mind that is perfect because it never had to go through the torture test of reality,
exactly.
you know? Um,
Exactly.
so yeah. And yeah,
I've got
potential.
a friend who's kind of gone down this road and has talked
Mm.
about who, if she had married this other person who'd wanted to marry her, who was wealthy, she'd be wealthy now and she'd be set for life. And I'm just like, babes, you don't know that.
You don't know that.
You don't even know, you don't know that. You don't like he it was more like a generational wealth thing, because like his parents were wealthy, and I
Got
don't know,
you.
maybe their parents were wealthy. But you don't know how they made their money. You don't know if it could have fallen apart. Heck, you don't even know if the two of you would still be married by now. You don't know if
Mm,
you would have enjoyed that marriage. You don't know if he
mm,
was
mm,
violent. You know nothing,
mm.
because it never happened. It's frozen in time, and the point where it was frozen was at a good point. You know how you're watching a show on TV and you pause it just as they're about to kiss. And you're like, so great. If you pause it there and you never play, you don't know what happens beyond that point. Sure,
It's
they were about
true.
to kiss, but like a truck could drive by and splash water on them and then they
Oh my
don't kiss.
gosh.
You
Oh
know,
my
like,
gosh.
or an ex could walk, something, anything could happen, but you've paused it at the perfect scene.
At the
The
perfect
at the
spot.
perfect they lived happily ever after scene. It's the same thing. If you've got two decisions and you go left instead of going right, or you take the red pill instead of the blue pill, you don't know what's happening on the other side of that. You paused it just before it progressed. So this
Yeah.
thing of if I girl, it's a dangerous game you're playing. You don't know. And as Cassie was saying on one of our previous episodes, the grass always seems like it's greener on the other side. But more so, the grass also always seems greener on the side where nobody has walked on it. Like it
Fair.
used to be a thing in secondary
Yeah.
school, you weren't allowed to walk on the
To walk
grass.
on the grass. It's true. It's
Because
true.
if you don't walk on it, then they stay green and crisp and fresh and whatever. So if you don't tread that path in life, that grass is going to be greener
Yeah,
until you get
100%.
there, and then you put your foot in it and then you
100%.
can realize. So like, yeah, it's a dangerous game. I advise you not to play it. Play royal match, royal kingdom. I don't know.
That they keep getting like Kylie Jenner to advertise for them.
Are
And
those
I'm
things
like,
real? Because I feel like it's AI. Is it real? Because is Kylie really advertising for royal?
for me,
I don't
the
know
thing
which
that's
one of
going through
those.
my mind when I see those ads is like the money that you need to have to
Mm,
book a Kardashian Jenner to advertise for you as a mobile game. They must be freaking raking it in. Anyway, we digress.
from
But I think
all the
there's
ads they make us watch.
I think there is something to be said about what you're saying as well, because in your analogy of, you pause just before the kiss, that is exactly what happens in these potential moments, these almost
Mm,
moments, right? Because
mm,
it's paused before it can become something.
anything.
Okay. And then
Mm.
that's where it stays. There's no way
Mm.
for you, oftentimes, there's no way for you to go back in time to that moment. Like,
And check that
I
moment, yeah.
I'm planning a trip now to the US and I'm like, what if I see him? Do you know what I mean? But I probably won't. You
Girl,
know,
from
like
5 years ago? What are
but
you saying?
what I
Do you
what
not
I'm
want this
saying is
man
that
to
like
progress in life?
not without me. Not without me. But
No,
my,
but
my
wait,
the point.
I know we're joking, but imagine you actually do see him.
No, I think it's highly unlikely. I think it's highly
Can
unlikely.
you go
Highly,
on this
highly
journey
unlikely.
with me? Can you just go on this journey with me? I
This
don't
is what I'm
understand.
saying. This is the exact journey I'm talking about. We should not go on it. It's too dangerous because in my mind it's going to play out so okay, fine. Let's go on the journey. Let's indulge. Let's take this route, okay? I book my flight. I get off the plane. I'm standing in the line. I look up. There he is. We connect.
I feel
I
like we need
remember
some
him.
music playing right now.
I remember him. He looks at me. There's recognition in his eyes as
Ooh,
well.
you're
And
meet cute. I'm within the story. Please keep going. Keep going.
look at me. She's like, and then what
And then
happened?
what? Yes. I'm like, and then what happened?
And then what happens? I don't know. I go up to him and I slide my passport over to him and he
Oh,
touches my hand as he takes my passport and he's like, "It's been so long. How are you? How was your trip to Cuba?" Because that's where I was going the last time I saw him. I don't know. Like what? And then what? We run off into the sunset and get married? No.
well,
Like
yes. And have cute little mixed race babies.
He was a beautiful caramel man. My
Can
goodness.
you imagine just merge that with your popping
Okay.
melanin?
Now, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay, but now, why thinking like this is dangerous is because I could build this moment up for myself now. And then when I step off the plane and I don't see him and it doesn't materialize the way I have perfectly painted it out in my mind, I am real world disappointed. I'm real
Mm.
world hurt. I'm real world needing to process a breakup that never happened. Do you know do you know what I mean? And that's
No,
why
man. But there's also
no.
the place of being realistic, right?
But
When you
this is
go
what
on this journey, are
yes,
you going to
yes.
sprinkle a little bit of realism on it as well? Because what are the chances?
The chances are next to zero. And I'm using this silly example, but like in uh, it's just I don't think that there is I don't think that there's too much good that can come from lingering in an almost.
Mm.
That can come from, painting out an elaborate picture. Excuse my alarm here for my vitamins. Lols, it's not for my
Hey,
vitamins.
you see,
It's
you
not for
you
my
hit a
vitamins.
certain, what is it
It's
for?
not for not for my vitamins at all.
I was just gonna be like, you see,
That
I'm
was
not the
me.
only one. You
That
hit a
was me
certain
roasting you.
age,
That
and
was
now
me
you have
roasting you.
vitamins.
Um, but yes, so I think it's too easy if there's not control, and to your point, if there's not a little bit of realism in it, it's too easy to linger. It's too easy to linger
Mm.
in the almost and let the almost play out in a way that then starts to feel too real, and hurts you in real time. I'm now hurt and I'm sad and I'm like frustrated and I'm angry in
Mm.
real time at something that never even was. That never ever
Yeah.
was.
Something that
You
never
know?
was. Yo, there's
Um
enough things to be upset and frustrated about that already exist. Why are you adding something that never was?
Of course. And I
Dude.
think that what your brain is also trying to do is trying to complete an incomplete narrative. You
Mm.
know what I mean? So there's something that feels like it needs closure, but it doesn't, but it feels like we need some kind of closure. So your brain will keep going back to that thing to kind of fill in the gaps and
Mm.
and complete the narrative and complete the story. And for me, I'm like, that's when you need to be very self-aware and like shut it down and be like, okay, I'm actually happy in this moment. And the potential is going to come
Mm.
up, especially when things are hard in real life. Do you know what I mean? So let's say
Yes.
you're in a
I was gonna say
difficult
that.
you're in a
Hmm.
difficult relationship today. And so your mind wanders to that one guy that we never really got to
Yeah.
start anything. And you go, well, what if? What if? And then that what if, maybe you turn it into something real. You're like, now let me just quickly send him a DM. Hey, haven't spoken to you in a
Oh my
while.
God. At
Do
the
you know what I
risk,
mean?
my marriage is
Mm.
fine. My husband is sane. But this thing you're saying now, I have done this. You know that one
Mm,
time that you come home and you've had a long day. And I mean,
mm,
he's probably had a long day too.
mm,
And
mm.
he's just like on the couch and just like, hey. And I'm just like, hey, bro, that's the greeting I get. And you flash back to that homeboy way, way back who'd get up and give you a hug and a this and a that. And you're just like, if I had married that one, no, I'm kidding. There
I'm
was
with you, but
no
I'm with
version
you.
of the
I'm
world. But
I'm with
I
you.
hear you
No.
because
Yes,
it is, if everything is going perfectly in your current reality, you've got no need for a what if. You've got
exactly.
no need for a
Exactly.
for replaying and almost. But when
1000%.
things aren't going according to plan or doesn't look, feel, sound the way that you had hoped, I think that's when you start to wonder, what if I'd married that other person? What if I'd had babies earlier? What if I'd sent in that audition tape? What if I'd
Mm,
actually taken it
mm,
seriously? I've
mm.
had Oh, let me tell you about an almost that
Tell
nearly
me
ended a
about it
friendship.
almost. Oh no.
I I was in uni and I just obviously I'd become Oriajuwale. I say that like I wasn't always Oriajuwale, but you know what I mean.
I
I'd
do
gone
know
from
what you
being
mean.
Oriajuwale the person to Oriajuwale the persona. And I think I'd had my shows at that point. I'd done the TED Talk. I'd had done the magazine cover. So I was quite well known. And so a friend of mine had set up there was a talk show. Can I you know how like the Daily Show? There was like a Nigerian version of
Yes.
that.
Cool, cool,
Yes.
cool, cool,
By
cool.
this guy that I really liked, and he was he was an MC. He was a TV personality. He was good.
Mm.
And so this friend of mine, and it was happening in Lagos, and this friend of mine had gotten tickets and was like, "Do I want to go see this?" And I'm like, "Yes, you have to ask." And
A
so we
thousand
go, and
percent, yeah.
he's like the reason that he thought it would be a great opportunity for me to network and to meet the guy and to speak to the guy about
Mm,
possibly mentoring me or something. And I'm like,
mm,
yes.
a thousand
So
percent, yeah.
we go to this thing. You know, it's a live recording. It's great, and we do this thing, and afterwards, I actually find the courage. Oh, you know, it's hard for me to do these kinds of things, but I dug deep and I found and I walked up to this guy, and we had chats, and he gave me his number and was
Mm.
like, he's happy to mend. Let's chat, you know, happy because I was about to leave school. So I was already plotting what next, you know?
Yes, yeah.
And so I tell a friend of mine this thing randomly. But then after we graduate, I had to move back home for a little bit. So I moved
Mm,
away, like way far from Lagos for a little bit. And I was trying to work out like moving to Lagos, like getting a place, you know, getting a job, and then
mm,
trying to
mm,
get the
mm,
internship or even just work with this guy in some capacity. I'd
mm.
told a friend of mine, and she'd gone and told a friend of hers, and that one was in Lagos, and she went to this person and pitched the exact same thing I sort of pitched, and she got to work with him. I was stuck at home still trying. I was in the
Oh
battle of wills with my
my
dad about this move,
gosh.
and for years I played that.
What
What if
could
I'd
have
never
been?
told my friend that I was applying for this and I
Oh,
talked to the guy? What if I'd never said anything?
oh
Would I
my
have got
gosh.
what if I'd
Oh
gotten
my
that role? Could I have what
this
would I have
this
done?
is
What
this is
if?
exactly what I'm talking about. This
I
is a
played it
great
for
example.
years. I was mad at my friend, mad at the other girl. And the guy who stuck his neck out, got me the tickets, found us a place to stay for us to go. He was just like, WTF, what did you do? Why didn't you go for it? And I was just like, my guy, me, I'm in the fight of my life here also because my dad is not convinced. And I'm trying to like, you know, make things work the way they need to work. I'm trying to like sort things at home so I can move with my parents' blessings and go start this career. Like I was juggling a lot at the time and I
With
was
you. Well,
young.
I understand. Yeah, yeah,
But I kept feeling like, what if I'd been, and it's not like I hadn't reached out to him after I left, but then I'm not in Lagos, you
I'm
know?
not
I'd
there
reached out, we'd spoken, but what can he do if I'm
if you're
not
not
there?
there.
He's got a show, but you need to be here, you know? And so
Oh my
it's,
gosh.
yeah, I played that all what if on that particular thing for
Crazy.
years, for years.
Crazy. Crazy.
And I
Crazy.
don't know what could have been. I mean, it's not like my life went off the rails from there. I've had other opportunities
It's
and good
true.
things have happened.
You've
But I'm just
exactly,
wondering,
exactly. Like,
could that
what
have helped
if?
me a
What?
little bit
Mm,
more? You know, could that have
my
put me
gosh.
on the map a bit more? Could I have met new, you know, what if I had gotten that role? Whew, okay.
You.
We've done this. We can go home now. This
No,
is
look,
it's
you're
okay.
you're you're 100% right. And I think the chaos of like an imaginary future is that it is very intoxicating because
Mm.
you are only ever going to imagine it good, you know?
Mm.
And then you imagine a world that's completely different to yours. And sorry, so going back to what I was actually saying about like these things, these thoughts, they linger and then they spur in a moment when things are difficult. When it's hard
Mm.
in the job, you think about the job opportunity that could have been. When it's hard in a
Yeah.
relationship, you think about the relationship that could have been. When it's hard in a friendship, you think about that time I don't know, you shouldn't have spoken up and shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, I
No,
shouldn't have. I
that's
should have kept
that
my mouth
one.
shut.
that one is tough. And I think so yes, I think for me, there's nothing wrong with dreaming, and being
Mm.
like, oh, amazing, what if, because dreams will also can often act as motivation for action, so in there's definitely times when dreaming and playing the what if scenario, or playing out the potential of a situation out in your mind is definitely a good thing. But we must be careful, I think, in romanticizing something that to the point where it becomes like very all consuming,
Mm.
to the point where we're so happy in our imagination that when it doesn't materialize in our life, it feels like there's something truly to grieve over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I
Like
mean?
you're losing
And
out on something.
you're physically losing out on something. um and that can be all consuming. So it's this idea of you're not grieving a past trauma, you're actually grieving a
An
future,
imagined one.
an imagined future, and if you
What?
think about it like that, it's actually just crazy.
It is
It's
an
silly.
imagined future. What?
You're grieving it. You feel the pain of the loss, like it's real, but it's an imagined future.
Cass, you're
It
not
never was.
wrong. You're
Yeah.
not wrong though. I do
Yes.
this all the time.
I do it all the time as well. I'm joking about my Latino airport person, but like
That one.
there's real examples as well, like of relationships. There's boys that I think about and I go, damn, like
There
what
is
could
that
have
one
been?
boy that I know that you are like, damn, what could have been?
What could have been, and
Even
there's
me, I'm like, what could have been on that one boy?
um
Just the one.
um just that one.
Mm.
There's conversations that I've had with people, specifically in corporate and in the workspace and in the networking space, where I'm like, if I had been bold enough to take that opportunity, would I now be connected with this
Mm.
person here? But I was too distracted doing that, which was also good, but I didn't do that one. And now I'm like, well, what would have happened if I had done that thing? Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so, so yeah. So it's a it's a fine line. The
The one I
daydreaming of
do,
potential, it's a fine line.
yeah. I do it for my parents as well. I'm just like,
Tell me.
if only they'd made a little bit more money and I could have been a trust fund baby.
Oh, do
If
you see what I
only
said?
they'd
Yeah,
stayed in the
listen.
UK just a little bit longer and I'd have a different passport. You know, I'm just like, what were they thinking? What were you thinking? This is
I
something
know.
that Nigerian kids say to their parents as well. Like, because when parents are like, your mates are getting married or something. What are you doing? Nigerian kids are often like, when your mates were making money, where were you?
What were you do? Where were you? What were you doing? What were you doing?
Ah, yeah,
But
no, you're
yeah,
grieving something that doesn't even exist and that might
yeah,
never have existed.
yeah.
There's no
You,
guarantee that if you follow that path all the
yeah.
way to its end, that the things you're imagining will happen along the way will happen. There's
You're
no
grieving.
guarantee.
You're grieving an imagined future, and it's it's crazy.
It's
Anyway,
roughly.
so I think there's a big part of this that needs, like, you almost need to get closure. You need to close it off in your mind without having the opportunity to have the conversation with the person to close it off. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you need self closure. And
That's
that can,
difficult.
yeah, it is super difficult because often closure is like, we have a conversation and we agree, we hash it out and we agree. But in this instance, it's you, yourself, and you. You, yourself,
Yeah.
you having a chat with you, yourself, and you about how you, yourself, and you need to heal and move on so that you, yourself, and you can live your reality of today and now, of what is and not what could be.
Could have been. I hear writing letters could help with closure
Yeah,
if you can't.
writing letters, journaling, write
Mm.
a letter to that person, write
To
a
the
letter to your
person, yeah.
friend who let you down, write a
Oh,
letter
no,
to,
no, man. That ship
I'm
sailed,
just, I'm,
sank.
I'm using it as an example, right? But like,
It. Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't that I'm not I don't even have words. It's fine. It's fine.
But
No,
yeah,
but I
and I
did
think
say it to her. We had like an actual conversation about it, and
so
she, to be fair, she was like she's sorry, she didn't mean it that way. She just told the other person. The thing about this particular friend is that's actually just the way she is. So I'm the one who's now learned to just keep my mouth shut around her.
with you,
Like
with you, with you.
she's not doing it
Yeah.
with any malice, but
I'm
she will
with
tell
you.
people your business.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm the one who now has to censor myself because I'm like, well, this is who
Yeah.
you are, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah, so as we wrap, I think for me, like a key thing for me in this, like finding closure without having closure, whatever, anyway,
mm,
has been making peace with the fact that you may not get closure. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
Like having closure is going, okay, I'm actually never going to get the answers to these questions, and make your peace with that.
mm.
Like, and figure it out and move on. So yeah. Anyway, the chaos of almosts. What are
The
your
chaos
almost
of
moments?
almost.
The chaos of
What
almost.
a title. The
Yeah.
chaos of almost.
What are your almost? What are those moments that you sometimes sit and ruminate on? If you're feeling brave and you want to share, I want to hear for sure. How have you moved on? How do you stop those thoughts from becoming bigger thoughts in your mind? Maybe you're failing at that. I definitely, in some instances, am hugely failing at that. But yeah, come share with us. You can say hi to us on socials, on Instagram and TikTok, and of course, you can find us on YouTube, Apple, and of course on Spotify as well. Yeah, come talk to us. I wanna hear all your stories. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere and everywhere you find your podcasts. Also, you can watch and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, love you. Bye.